everyone. So we have another guest on today's discussion series. It is actually a different kind of a guest, so I would like him to go ahead and introduce himself. So let's go ahead and introduce today's guest.
Hi, my name is Warren Wimburn, and I'm a senior loan advisor with Ruoff Mortgage here in Cincinnati.
And I was going to say, how did you get started in your field?
Yeah, absolutely. So I started in my field about 9 months ago, I'd say 10 months ago. I got started here. I've always worked around mortgage people and mortgage individuals. However, really, I really got the interest because I was doing a whole lot of work as an insurance agent. I'd work really closely with mortgage advisors, getting to know these families as they were making really the biggest financial transaction of their life, and getting to know these families from really an assistant point of view. I just got the interest that I wanted to take it a step further and be the one that actually got to be at the front of the transaction and make this dream happen for the families.
Yeah. And I was going to say, how long have you been in your field for?
Yeah, about 9 to 10 months as a loan advisor.
Okay. And I know you were telling me a little bit about, your field, but if you could just tell people, I guess, some basic things in the process of buying a home that would help out, anybody.
Yeah, absolutely. So the real important thing to remember that I can't stress enough when it comes to buying a home is that this is going to be, for most people, the largest transaction you will make throughout the course of your life. Mm-hmm. And of course, I would love it if everybody got their home with me, but it's not always the case. The one thing that I will say is just making sure that you're carefully reviewing what it is that you're signing. Remember that, this transaction for the majority of you, when you go to buy your first home or any home, is going to be, a loan that you're paying off for the next 30 years. Some important things to remember are really just reading the terms, making sure you understand what it is that you're signing, and also that you have an advisor that's staying in touch with you and treating you the way that he or she would want to be treated if they were purchasing a home.
Mm-hmm. And I was going to say, how long do you think the actual time frame from purchasing a home should take, or, do you know a time estimate for that?
Yeah, absolutely. So now, in terms of finding a home, that always depends on the family. In those kind of situations, we always want to make sure the person or family that's purchasing a home is going to be finding the one that they want the most. However, from the time that we find a home and actually close on it and you get the keys, it's usually up to 30 days is the range that we like to give.
Mm-hmm. And I know you already kind of gave a little bit of advice about, buying a home, but if you could just give 3 tips to someone that is currently purchasing a home, what would you tell them?
Yeah, absolutely. The biggest tips that I would give anybody that's purchasing a home is, read in. Number one would be read into the conditions. Make sure that what you're getting is actually a good deal. Study hard, be a bookworm when it comes to finances. Know what the average interest rate is, know what a good deal looks like. Study up on that, and make sure you're not getting taken advantage of. Number 2 would be making sure that you're working with somebody that's communicating with you. I have so many clients that come to me that were previously working with another advisor that maybe they wouldn't pick up their calls or they wouldn't hear from them for days on end. Make sure if you're spending $200,000, $300,000 with somebody that they can pick up the phone for you. Mm-hmm. And then the third option the third most important thing would honestly be just make sure that it's the right time for you. A lot of families feel like they have to get a home, or they feel like that this is what they need to do. There's a lot of pressure to get a home. It's a big transaction. I don't even try to pretend like it's not. So make sure that it's the right time for you, your family, and your budget, and sit down and talk to your advisor. And the right advisor is going to tell you if you have the sufficient money to do this right now or not.
And what are some like the most frequently asked questions that you get from home buyers?
Yeah, a lot of frequently asked questions that I get. Number one is, how much is it going to cost to close or to buy a home? I get that question quite a lot. And honestly, a lot of people have this misconception that your down payment is the same thing as your closing costs in a transaction. And I'm more than happy to explain that to any of my clients that that's not fully the case. In terms of budgeting for a home, the best thing that I can tell my clients is be sure to be ready to budget for 3 to 3.5% at minimum for the down payment for your home. So let's say you're purchasing a home for $100,000. You're going to want anywhere between, depending on what loan program you have, anywhere between $3,000 to $3,500 for the down payment. And then I always say to be ready to budget for another 3 to 4% of the home for closing costs. So, anywhere between another $3,000 to $4,000. And that's to say, if you were to pay everything completely out of pocket, to make sure that you're budgeting for that. Another frequently asked question that I get a whole lot in my industry is, what is the interest rates? And the truth is, interest rates change every single day, truthfully. There's so many factors that go into the fact of what determines your interest rate. And it's really, again, that goes back to making sure that you have a lender that is going to pick up the phone for you. Because of the fact that these interest rates change every single day, and to make sure that you're getting the absolute best price, you want to have somebody who's communicating with you, who's staying on top of your file, who's representing you and making sure that they're watching what the stock market is doing, what the world is doing. So that way they know when the best time to lock your rate in. So that way you have a solid interest rate on your home. Don't fall victim to somebody who can't pick up the phone for you.
Yeah. And I know you told me that you do speak Spanish, so I do want to, let people know that, you are a little bit fluent in Spanish and you can help, those Hispanic audience or people that want to, hopefully purchase a home. But if you could just let people know, where people can contact you or where people can find you on social media if they were, interested in buying a home or needing some assistance with that.
You can reach me by simply searching on Google Warren Winburn at Ruoff. You can simply search in Google Warren Winburn Ruoff. I'm on Facebook. You can search for me on Instagram. That's going to be Winburn Warren. Any way that you can contact me. My cell phone number is available on my website. That is true. I do offer bilingual services in Spanish and English. That's always been a real pleasure. And, I feel like really that's been so vital to me in this industry because it's crazy to me until I really got in here and got it into an advisory role. I mean, there is a huge number of Spanish-speaking families in this country that want to purchase a home. And off the top of my head, I can probably count how many of us advisors actually speak Spanish here in Cincinnati. I can probably count it right here on my hand. I mean, I only know about maybe 3 or 4 in the city that actually speak Spanish and can help these families. So that's really just been such a big importance to me, is because I've seen personally so many families that didn't really understand what they were signing into because of that language barrier. So I really felt like I wanted to take it a step further and really try to help these families understand what they're doing. Yeah, no, well, thank you so much for sharing all this information and being on, on our discussion series today and taking, your time to educate us a little bit on this. I will actually leave all his links down below and all his information, so that way you guys can go check him out or send a message for any assistance in purchasing a home, especially for my Spanish speaking audience and viewers that need help with that. I know with my organization, we try to do a lot of work to advocate, for minority
minorities and people that, just need that extra assistance. So I will leave all his information down below. Thank you so much for coming on. And, hopefully we can do a part 2 to this. If you guys can just let us know like your questions or comments or concerns down below. And, I would love to have you on for a part 2 in the future.
Sounds good. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you so much.